I would love to hear you talking more about multiple affairs, not just one, but a pattern. Are the numbers the same? Great question. So, multiple affairs are very different from one single affair. So, it's affairs, exist on a spectrum, right? The most shallow end of the spectrum might be, an emotional affair, with a coworker where there were just a couple of flirty, inappropriate texts exchanged. Then we get into more serious affairs, right? And then we have maybe a one night stand. Then we have a long-term single affair where it's a couple of months with one person. But at the deeper end of the spectrum, we have somebody that has multiple affairs, right? So it's, it can be a one-time experience with one person and then very shortly thereafter another one-time experience with another person. Or it can be, 3 weeks with one person, then a little break, then 3 weeks with the next person. Think about, a multiple affair situation where the person is constantly looking for a new supply of chemicals to help them feel better. All right. So multiple affairs are different in both intensity, duration, frequency than a one-time affair. And the root cause for these people is different. It's similar to other affairs, but a little bit different. For the most part, these people have a smex addiction. And just like alcohol or drug addiction, the person gets addicted to the chemicals that they experience and, that their brain releases during this problematic behavior. So they get addicted to the dopamine, they get addicted to the oxytocin, and they start to need that, to crave that, to function. So at a certain point, they're, chasing just feeling normal, just feeling good. They're having these affairs, they're acting out to get the chemicals so they can just continue to cope and continue to function. And obviously, it's a pretty unhealthy situation. If they can't get dopamine or serotonin or oxytocin in other healthier ways, they keep going back to this unhealthy way. And they also can't get very much from their original partner. So people will often say, well, why don't they just try to get those chemicals from their partner? Well, as time goes on, we habituate to our partner. We get used to it, right? It's just like if you had, oatmeal every day. Oatmeal isn't so exciting anymore. And that's normal and expected. And there's lots of other things in a relationship that will bind you and keep you together. So you're fine with oatmeal. It's fine. A lot of these people, though, get very little feel-good chemicals out of interacting with their partner, and they're constantly chasing the novelty, the newness of an experience so that they can get those feel-good chemicals. They get a drop from interacting with their partner, they get a bucket from this new person. So there's nothing wrong with the partner. It is just that they don't get as much of a hit from the experience. Okay, so that's that part of it. The impact on the betrayed partner is also greater, right? The more affair partners and the more intense the experience and the longer the experience, the harder it is for most people to heal. Healing is possible, just like healing from, any kind of addiction is possible, but the process is lengthy and painful, and the significance of the trauma and the betrayal is so profound that, the numbers aren't the same. They're not super awesome. One of my colleagues who is a SMEX addiction specialist, and I'm going to tag her in this video, recently told one of our mutual friends that about 50% of people in her practice recover from SMEX addiction. And of those, 25% of them are still in their original relationships and are happy. I'm going to, again, tag Dr. Kate in this to make sure I'm getting that data right. But that's the scoop on multiple affairs. If you want to try to heal, of course, healing is possible. But really, really look at your partner and see, have they gotten to a place where they truly do not want to be that person anymore? Are they really, really ready to change? And almost everybody says they're ready to change at the beginning. So really watch for consistent, continued effort. Doesn't mean they won't fail sometimes, but really watch for what they do over a period of time before you kind of go all in again and decide to reinvest in the relationship. All right, so let me know what you think about this.